Hello, we're on lesson 96 today. And the first part of it is on estimating angles. So we have to have some kind of a reference to estimate angles. So you can see on page 656, they reference a clock. So in a clock, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, okay? And we know that there's 360 degrees all the way around this. So each one of those numbers, in other words, from here to here, or here to here, would be 360 divided by, how many numbers are there? There's 12. So each one of those would be 30 degrees. 30 here, 30 here. That just gives us a reference point. Another thing is there's 5 in between. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 60 minutes all the way around, correct? So if we take 360 and divide it by the 60 minutes, then each little tick mark or each minute is 6 degrees. So each hour is 30 degrees and each minute is 6 degrees. Now we're just going to keep that in mind, and you're going to need your protractors for this lesson also. So the first example on the next page says estimate the measure of BOC. Now BOC is the bigger angle. Now when we look at this thing, you can tell it's a little bit off from 90 degrees, isn't it? The whole thing is a little bit more than 90. So I don't know, what do you think? If we go here, that's probably a little bit too much. It's actually probably supposed to be something like here, which looks like it might be half of 30. Not quite back to the 11, but half of 30. So half of 30. And this is just an estimate, so it doesn't matter if we're right on or not. And then this thing looks like, to me, it looks like it's about 30 degrees. That's what I'm going to guess. So if this is 30 and this right here is 90, that would leave this piece to be how much? This would be a right angle. So 90 minus the 30 would give us 60, wouldn't it? Plus what we think this is 15. So an estimate would be 75. Okay? All right, now get your protractors out, because the second part says to use a protractor to find the measure of angle BOC. So when you line up your protractor on the bottom, you can tilt your protractor sideways. It looks like it comes out that, wow. Gosh, I didn't know I was gonna be that close. I hadn't really looked at this problem, I promise. So if you use the protractor, you get that angle BOC is in fact 75 degrees. So that was more than a good estimate. It was a right-on estimate. Okay, so that's how you estimate. Just think about the numbers on the clock. And again, I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be exact. It's just an estimate. All right. Next section is on distributive property, not just with numbers, but with variables. So what we do is we take this and we multiply it times everything that's inside. And remember that the sign that's in front of the term goes with it. So this is a positive A times a positive B is a positive AB. This is positive times positive, so that's positive. A times C is AC. All right, so that's distributive property. So look on the next page, we have a few of these. 2 times x minus 3, 2 times x, 2x. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. And then negative 2, remember we got to take that sign with us, times x plus 3. So negative 2 times positive x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6. Okay? And the next one is minus 2 times x minus 3. All right, so negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, be careful with those rules for sign numbers. Okay, then the next one is just x times x minus 3. So we have to remember what we do when we multiply with variables. So x times x, it is not 2x. X times x is x squared. Okay, and then x times negative 3 is minus 3x. Okay, x times x, you add the exponents. Remember, if there's not one, it's understood to be a 1. So the x to the 1 times x to the 1 is actually x to the 1 plus 1, or x squared. Okay, another one, x squared, and it says simplify. So before we can do anything else, we have to use distributive property and get rid of this parentheses. So we multiply 3 times x, 3x, we multiply, and remember this sign goes with it, so it's a positive 3 times a negative 2 is negative 6, and then I'll just bring these other two terms down, and this was a positive. Now we add any like terms that we have. We just happen to have 2x and 3x that can be combined. So we're going to go ahead and combine those. What's 2x plus 3x? 5x, right? Okay, so this is x squared plus 5x minus 6. Can't combine anything else because they are not like terms. Their variable doesn't have the same exponent. Okay, that's it for that lesson. So here's what I want you to do. Email me at this. Clocks are helpful. All right, you guys have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.